Hello everyone, welcome back. So starting from now, we're going to teach chapter 2 for the quadratics. So there are 6 sessions in the chapter 2, so I'm going to divide these contents into 6 tutorial videos so that you would learn each by each. So first, we're going to learn 2.1, solving quadratic equations. So we have already know for the quadratic equations, the form is ax squared plus bx plus c equals 0. And how could we solve this? We have already learned how to factorize. If you still don't remember, go back to chapter 1 to review what I'm teaching. Alright, so hopefully you have already know how to do this. Then let's do it together. So there are two steps to do this. So first, you need to factorize the left-hand side and then set each factor equal to 0 and then find out the values of x. Okay, what does that mean? Let's take one example. So let's look at example 1 for the A. So x squared minus 2x minus 15 equals 0. How do we solve this? We can factorize. So coefficient before x squared is 1. The constant is negative 15. So we can divide 1 into 1 times 1. Negative 15 divided into 3, negative 5. So that we have 1, 1, 3, negative 5. 1 times negative 5, then plus 1 times 3. So exactly equals negative 2. So that we can write the equation as x plus 3 then times x minus 5 equals 0. So x, we can set each factor equal 0. So that we should have x equals negative 3 or x equals 5. Alright, so let's look at B. So we have x squared equals 9x. So we can move 9x into the left part. Okay, we can take x out. So x minus 9 equals 0. So these two terms can no longer be factorized anymore. So we can x equals 0 or x equals 9. This is the two solutions for the equation. So let's look at C. We have 6x squared plus 13x minus 5 equals 0. So we should factorize. So the coefficient before x squared is 6. The constant is negative 5. So we can take 6 into 2, 3. And then negative 5, we can take 5, negative 1. So that we have 2, 3. And then 5, negative 1. 2 times negative 1, negative 2. 3 times 5, 15. 15 minus 2 equals 13. So exactly the coefficient before x. So we should return the equation as 2x plus 5 times 3x minus 1 equals 0. So x should be negative 5 over 2 or x equals 1 over 3. This is the two solutions for the quadratic equation. So let's look at the last one. So you have x squared minus 5x plus 18 equals 2 plus 3x. So we move all the terms, both terms in the right to the left, so that we have x squared then minus 8x plus 16 equals 0, right? So what the formula is? It's a minus b squared equals a squared minus 2ab plus b squared. So 16 could be written as 4 squared, right? So that's pretty clear. So we could written as x minus 4 squared equals 0. So that x equals 4. Okay. Alright. So we finished example 1. Let's go to the next page to see another example. So example 2. You have 2x minus 3 squared equals 25. So how do we solve this? So you have 2x minus 3 squared equals 25. So what number square equals 25? You could have 5 square equals 25 or negative 5 square equals 25. So you should have two solutions. 2x minus 3 equals positive or negative 5. So that you would have x equals 4 or x equals negative 1. So there are two solutions for the equation. So let's take a look at B. So x minus 3 then square equals 7. So you need to find out the x value. So x minus 3 could be positive square root 7 or could be negative square root 7. So that x could be 3 plus square root 7 or x equals 3 minus square root 7. This is two solutions for the equation. Okay? Alright. So for the 2.1, you have so many exercises you could do. You can pause the video, try to solve them all, and check the answers in the book. Hopefully you could get it all correct. And then let's look at use the equation to solve the quadratic equations. As we know, some quadratic equations cannot be factorized. They are just normal quadratic equations. So if we find those quadratic equations which are not be able to factorize, so how could we do them? So we should use the formula to calculate it. So a, b, c are coefficient before x squared, then b, and c is a constant term, so that you can have the equation negative b plus minus square root b squared minus 4ac over 2a. So let's try this formula for example 3. So 3x squared minus 7 minus 1 equals 0. We find out there's no way that we can factorize it. Then use the same way like we do example 1. So since we cannot factorize them, so we could use a formula, try to solve it. So here a equals 3, b equals negative 7, c equals negative 1. So 2 times a, then negative b, which is 7, plus minus, and then you have b squared, 49 minus 4 times 3 times negative 1, which is plus 1. So the final answer should be square root 61. So the answer should be 7 plus 60 square root 71 over 6. This is one answer. Another answer is 7 minus square root 61 over 6. Alright, so you can use a calculator, convert these two numbers into 2.47 or negative 0.135. Okay. For the exercises, I hope you could stop the video and then try to solve them all and check the answers with the book to see how much scores you can get. Okay. So 4 is still the exercises. And this is the end of tutorial 1. We're going to keep studying for the 2.2 in the chapter 2. Hopefully you will enjoy this video. See you next time.